Hi everyone, today's video is going to be about my Commodore 64. It's got a bit of a problem. It's reporting less RAM than it should, so we need to have a look at the RAM chips. We'll need to potentially swap them out. It's taken a while for some of the parts to get here from China just due to things that are going on in the world at the moment. So now the parts are finally here, I can get stuck into it. So let's get to it. So we can see this Commodore 64 has less RAM free than it should. We're only seeing 34,559 basic bytes free when we should be seeing 38,911 basic bytes free. So this has taken me down the path of checking the RAM chips. So we're going to replace the RAM chips in this today. I'll put some sockets in, we'll put some new RAM chips in. We'll also do a full recap of this board to future-proof it to make sure that everything's okay. Then hopefully after we've done all that, this will work and show the correct amount of RAM free. So we have some parts here. These are the RAM chips that I've ordered. So I've actually ordered these way back in December, and it's actually taken a good 3 months for them to get here due to the whole coronavirus situation in China. So these have finally arrived. I think they arrived about 2 days ago. These are the Commodore 64. These are the 64K by 4 arrangement, I believe. Probably got that wrong, but we'll fix that down below. These are direct replacements for the chips that are in the Commodore 64 shortboard. So this is the 64C, as you can see. We'll be using 2 of these chips. I've got 4 here just to be sure. Got a bit of a backup, so that should be fine. So I'll put those to the side. We've also got some 18-pin dip sockets here, which I picked up from JCar. These will just be going in just to make it easy to remove the RAM in the future and do any testing or anything like that. It just makes it a lot easier to work on, so we'll be putting these in. And my order from Mouser has arrived, so I've got all the caps I need. All the caps. So many caps. Actually, not that many caps. I've recapped CRT TVs before, and this is nothing compared to the amount of caps you'll find in those things. So, all the caps are here, the memory chips are here, the sockets are here. Let's get this done and fix it. Okay, let's get to work on this and get this thing open. So there's just 3 screws in the front. That's pretty standard. I think the bread rings are the same too. Just take these 3 screws out. And we'll just put that to the side. So you can see this is one of the later, sorry about that, shortboard revisions. I'm going to need an Allen key for this. Sorry guys, just 1 sec. I'll be back for an Allen key. Okay, we're back. So I've got this keyboard out. I've actually got the custom keyboard stands in here from The Future Was 8-bit, I believe. So I'll just take this out, put that to the side. So you can see I've already been in here and I've put heat sinks on most of the main chips. So the CPU, the PLA, the ROM chips, and the SID chip here. So that's it. So these are the 2 chips here that we're going to be looking at today. These are the 2 memory chips on the Commodore 64C. One of these, I believe, is faulty. I don't know which one. I don't have an oscilloscope, unfortunately, to actually start checking address and data lines on this. So what we'll do is we'll pull one, swap it out, test it. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. If that one doesn't work, we'll pull the second one and we'll socket that, swap that, and test that out too. So you can see I've got sockets on the SID chip, on the CPU, on the PLAs as well. Alright, so let's get this board out. Okay, so here we have the board. So again, these are the 2 RAM chips that we'll be replacing. You see I've already heat synced a bunch of the chips in here, so the SID chip, the CPU, I think that's a PLA, one of these is the PLA. So what we'll do is we'll swap one out, see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll swap another, and we'll see if it works, and hopefully that fixes it. If it doesn't, it may be something wrong with the 74LS logic chip, which I believe is this one here. So there's a 74LS there, there's also a 74LS over here. That is the color RAM, I believe. So not this one. So maybe one of these 74LS chips is bad if that doesn't fix it. So unfortunately I don't have a spare 74LS chip to actually change into this, so I'm just hoping it's going to be one of the RAM chips. So time to fire up the desoldering station. Alright, so it's these ones here that we want to take out. So let's get the first one out. Alright, let's put the new RAM chip in, and we'll see if we can get this to work. So I'm going to bend the legs back, because they're not always going to fit. And hopefully, we just have to change the one chip. That would be amazing. But it never works like that, does it? Alright. Alright, let's turn this on. Moment of truth. Still 34559. Well, that means I'm gonna have to pull the other chip out. Alright, back to it. But definitely these end ones, they like to get stuck. Alright, let's see if we can get some of that chip up. So we got a couple of stragglers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5. Yeah, 5 stragglers. Okay. Let's hit them again. Wow, that giant ground plane is really something. That was intense. But there it is. We got it. And none of the legs are snapped. So can straighten those up, and that's not damaged. Except we did lose a pad and a trace. Damn. Oh well, we can fix that. Alright, so we're going to have to run a bodge from the IC here over to this pad on the RAM chip. Pull out the multimeter and see how much damage we've done. Yep, definitely need a bodge. Alright, so I'm going to put the socket in and install the bodge. Alright, the moment of truth. Have we fixed the RAM? Let's see how much we've got left. Alright, power on. Winner winner chicken dinner, 38,911. Sorry for the Gaussian effect on the screen there. We'll see if we can fix that. Sometimes it works right. Oop, almost. There we go, good enough. 38,911. So that's RAM fixed. So you can see the two new RAM chips there. They're socketed here and here. Makes it easy to change them in the future. I won't bother putting any heat sinks on these because these do not get hot at all. But yeah, it's working now. So the RAM problem is fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and do a full recap on this board now, just to future-proof it, and then we can call this job done. Okay, so our board has been fully recapped. I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 caps I changed. Some of them were a little difficult. There's some really big ground planes on these short boards, and it was pretty difficult to get some of them out. But I got them out and I didn't break anything. So it's time for a test. Let's turn it on. Okay, hopefully you can see that. We've got 38,911 basic bytes free, which means the RAM is fixed. So it turned out to be the left chip. So I changed the right chip first, no change, unfortunately. So I had to pull the other one out. So now both have been changed, and the RAM is reporting correctly. So let's put the diagnostic cartridge in, and we'll do a RAM check. So put that in, and we'll turn that back on. Alright, so we're going to do the full test. I don't have the test harness, so all the port testing and the cassette port and things like that are not going to test okay, but I know they work. So here's the RAM test. So with the bad RAM, it used to hang on RAM test 1. It would say RAM test 1 okay, and then it would just lock up. So RAM test 2 would fail. But this time RAM test 2 passed. Yes, so the PLA is okay. Hopefully the color RAM is okay too. Color RAM is okay. Kernel ROM is okay. Basic ROM is okay. Character ROM is okay. Cassette is bad because I don't have anything plugged into the cassette port. Sound test is working. It was a little wonky there. So the control port's bad because I don't have any controls plugged in, and the other things check out fine. So I'm just going to let that run one more time, just to hear that SID again. I hope the SID chip hasn't gone bad. So don't worry about the U1 and the U2. That's because the test harness isn't connected. We'll do color RAM again. Alright, let's hear that SID. Okay, it sounded fine that time. I'm not sure what happened there, but there you have it. Okay, so the Commodore 64 is now repaired. So let's put it back in the case, put it together, and we'll end it there. Okay, so there's the board back in the box. I've got the two keyboard standoffs from The Future Was 8-Bit. These are needed if you take the RF shield out of this. So this has the big metal RF shield normally, which I've taken apart because it was rusted to hell. It was gone. You don't need it. So let's put this back in. So that's the keyboard. And yeah, so without the RF shield, you need these standoffs to screw the keyboard in here. So we'll just put that back in. It's a small alignment issue. I think it's off by like 2 millimeters to the left, so I like to shove it over to the right a little bit more, just to make it so that when you put the case back on, the keys aren't jammed up on the left side. Not that they touch, but the clearance is very minimal on this side. So there we go, that's the keyboard back in. That's connected. Everything looks good. Don't forget to reconnect the power LED. There we go. Screw that back together. There we go, and then we'll give that one more test just to make sure it's all good. Video cable in, power cable in. Okay, so that's all set back up. I've got my SD to IEC here. I recommend this as an essential add-on for anybody that's using a Commodore 64 in 2020. It works great. It doesn't work with everything. Things that use fast loaders and special loaders that use the CPU in the disk drive, they won't work on this. I do have a 1541-2 on the way to match this. Fortunately it hasn't arrived yet, so I couldn't use it in this video, but maybe you'll see that in a future video. So let's turn this on. The hum of a CRT. Excellent, so we're looking good, so let's load up FD. And let's play a game, just to show you that it's working. Alright, so one of the games I like is Turrican. So we'll load that up. Unfortunately I don't have a fast load cartridge or an Epix fast load. I would look into getting one, so we'll speed this up because this is going to take a while to load. There you go, so Turrican has loaded. Sounds great, SID's working. Unfortunately I haven't got a joystick plugged in, so you're not going to see any gameplay today, but trust me, it's working. Okay guys, that's it. That's the Commodore 64 repair. Memory chip swap, recap, working, future-proofed Commodore 64. I'll see you guys next time.